Hi everyone, meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now Weather Center. It's Thursday, and that means a new drought monitor was released today. This is a look at what the drought monitor looked like 1 week ago, and again you can see much of the state, all of the state, under drought conditions, the worst of them across northeastern Nebraska and across parts of southwestern Nebraska where we have extreme and exceptional drought conditions. And again, for what feels like a couple weeks in a row now, we saw no change in the drought monitor this week. Everything, again, has stood pat. All of that despite the fact that the month of January for the whole entire state was the third wettest on record. So at least that is some good news. Still a lot of moisture locked up in the snowpack that we currently have across the state. So again, as that continues to melt over the next several weeks, that will hopefully continue to add some moisture to the ground. If you look at the drought monitor status over the course of the last year, again, you can see at least the worst of it peaked in the fall and late in 2022. Again, there has been some improvement so far in the past month or so, again, despite the fact that we haven't seen any change in the drought status. But again, drought conditions have persisted for quite a while. But again, we are hoping that again, as some of this snowfall melts, that will add some moisture to the soil, and we will see some improvements in the drought conditions, especially as we head towards the springtime. As far as the forecast over the course of the next week, we are looking at the potential for some moisture to head our way, though we will remain dry likely through the weekend. It's into the first half, but really through much of next week. A couple systems we're keeping our eyes on that could move through the area, that could prove beneficial with both some rain and some snow possible across the area. But this is the 7-day precipitation potential from the Weather Service. Again, you can see much of the state, again, looking at a little bit of moisture, maybe anywhere from a tenth to around a half an inch for much of the state. But far southeastern parts of the state could pick up a little bit more. Lincoln, maybe a quarter to 3/4 of an inch of moisture. Not out of the realm of possibility. Maybe half an inch to an inch of moisture in far southeastern parts of the state. If you look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation potential, again through the middle part of the month, it does have better than average better than average odds of wetter than normal conditions across much of the area. In the 8 to 14 day outlook, also again at least slightly better than average odds at wetter than average conditions. That takes us from February 17th through February 23rd. If you look at the precipitation potential, the long-range models, this is the European model. This runs all the way through Sunday night at 10 o'clock. You can see, again, like I mentioned, we're looking at mainly dry weather between now and the end of the weekend. So again, if you have any outdoor weekend plans, looks like the weather should be pretty nice for it. But then through the week next week, we see several systems move through the area that could bring in some moisture to the region. The European model keeps most of that moisture across parts of southeastern Nebraska, but the American GFS model, again, similar to the Euro, keeps things dry through the weekend, but then through the week next week, it spreads more moisture across much of the state. Again, the American model bringing anywhere from an inch to an inch and a quarter across parts of southern Nebraska, including into the Lincoln area and into east central parts of the state. So again, something we'll keep an eye on. Looks like the pattern could turn a little bit wetter and busier as we head through the week next week, but we see dry weather continue through the upcoming weekend with more mild February temperatures returning for the weekend as well.